5.
Testing. Can you hear me?
1, 2, and 3.
Let me make sure I don't look fat.
Do you know that you say that every episode?
Uh-huh. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you nervous
No,
at all?
not really, no.
And you really don't want any tissues?
No.
Okay. All right. Ready? And... Oh, wait, not cut.
Action.
Okay, hold on. Let me do it again. Okay. And action. Is this thing on? Hey guys, welcome back to the Subjective Podcast. I'm your host, Danielle, and today we have a very, very special guest. Leia,
Hi, Stinkies.
welcome to Subjective.
I'm actually more than a special guest, and I want to get something off my chest before we get down to the nitty-gritty.
Oh gosh.
Episode 1, she lied. She asked me about a podcast, and I said it sounded like a great thing for us to do. I also came up with a name, and then she never said anything else to me about it. So it wasn't that I was not interested, like you told the people.
I don't remember that. Okay. So I spoke based on my perception, my experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the thoughts on a podcast of us, it's very much subjective because I remember you not being interested.
Anywho.
Yeah, but...
That's neither here or there. Agree to disagree.
Period. Anyway, that's literally not the topic. So is there anything else you need to get off your chest?
Yes, actually. Before we start, I just wanted to say that I'm super, super proud of my bestie. She's like eating the podcast game up. Aww. And I have all of my friends as well as strangers watching it.
Period.
And I just couldn't be more proud.
You've been the best marketer. I'm going to get you this little thing. It's like this thing that you can put on the back of your phone and like people can just scan it and it'll take them right to the podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I need this for myself, but also for you because when you were at WVU trying to get people to type it in, you don't need all that.
I don't.
Anyways, so today, Leia, we're talking about our relationship, but also what it was like growing up 11 years apart, which I don't know. Obviously, everyone probably doesn't know that. Mm-hmm. But Leia was born when I was 11 years old and Donovan was 15 or 16. Yeah. So we have a huge age gap. I don't think our mom planned on having kids and then you came along. So with that being said, I feel like I remember a lot of growing up. Like I wasn't a teenager yet, but I remember you being born. I remember your childhood, and I remember becoming a teenager and you were a toddler. Do you remember anything?
The only thing I remember is when like I was going to Inwood Primary. Like that's really the only time.
So you were in kindergarten?
Yeah.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So do you remember like the first time you realized or it was like a aha moment like, damn, my sister is 11 years older than me?
Yes. It
When?
was when I was hanging out with your friends, like your high school friends. I was like, this is kind of weird. I never had like the right age group friends. It was always your friends.
Yeah, but I feel like that wasn't my fault. You used to hang out
Oh
with
yeah,
the
no.
old ass neighbors, Miss Phyllis.
That
So,
was after though.
oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, well, what a time. Okay, so then let's start with the basics. Like, how would you describe our relationship growing up? Not now, but like back then.
I was abused.
You were disciplined.
No, I was abused. What did you used to do? Tell the people who you really are. You used to hold a pillow over my head and make me call you Your Majesty.
I should do that again.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. No,
Yeah,
you
if you
shouldn't.
did something, but I feel like, okay, that probably wasn't nice in the moment, but also now look at you. You're so tough. Nobody could mess with you. You think you would be that if it wasn't for me?
Actually, no, that really did shape me. I think I'm a little traumatized from it.
Oh, that makes me feel bad. But that's how you would describe our relationship
Oh
then?
no. We were like Oprah and what's her name? Gail. Oprah and Gail for real.
Are they years apart?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, we were just always together. Not by choice, but it kind of
Mm-hmm.
happened that way. And it got to the point where your friends were like, they knew I was coming either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I think I would describe it as like, I felt like I was like your second mom.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what it gave. Like, I felt like I had a little child, you
Hmm.
know? That's what. But I also still felt like there were some elements of like, oh, we still were sisterly
Yeah.
versus mom and daughterly.
Hmm.
Is that even a word? I don't know. But okay, so then I wanted to talk about like your perception of being the youngest, but also like being very much far in age from us. And so what was it like being your age but hanging out with your teenage sister or like watching me as a teenager? Like did you feel like you were just a part of the crew? Like what was that
Yeah.
like?
I felt like I was supposed to be there. Everybody wanted me there. I felt like
Who
I was
said
one of the
that?
girls. Me, in my head, that's what I thought.
Oh.
Like I was supposed to be there. And I also, sorry, OJ, but I have to say this. Like that one time you took me to that boy's house and I
Mhm.
accidentally snitched.
Mhm.
You kind of shaped in my mind what a teenager was supposed to be like.
Doing
Just,
things like that.
yeah, just crazy, outlandish things.
That's insane.
Like,
Well,
who brings their little sister on a sneaky link?
yeah, but he
He had
had
his siblings. Who
yeah,
does
it
that?
worked out perfect. Well, because that time that wasn't in my plans. I didn't plan on babysitting you that day. I had made plans with my little friend, and when I woke up the next morning, mom had went to work and she left and you were there. Like it was not in my plans for you to come. My plan was that I wasn't babysitting. Mom didn't like tell me,
Mm-hmm.
ask anything. So I was like, well, time to pivot, make the best out of this situation. That was what I thought. Do you think though that being the youngest, like how do you think that shaped your personality?
I think that being the youngest, I'm very like entitled. As in like I feel like the whole no, seriously, like kind of like when people say like the whole world doesn't revolve around you,
Mm-hmm.
but my whole world has kind of always revolved around me. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody has always accommodated me.
Yeah. And I think it was just like you almost kind of were like an only child.
Yeah, like,
Especially like once I went to college,
mhm.
then
And Donovan was really never around.
yeah.
Either like he was close, but not like around. So
Yeah. Do you think that the age gap, or maybe not the age gap, anything like shaped your personality, like how you turned out, how you act?
I think that I have a lot of Danielle characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just, and a lot of people think that too. Like even your other siblings think that like I act a lot like you. But I also think that, like for instance, like how outspoken you are,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, that doesn't really feed me how it feeds you. Basically, like you, like I can hold on to things and just kind of move on. You can't.
Yeah, Matt. Well, I do think your personality is very similar to mine. I think from my perception though, my personality was shaped just by me. Like it's not like I for example, like mom and Donovan were around when I was born. I'm nothing like them.
Yeah.
So my personality was just I was born like that, so it's very much it wasn't like I was learning different things from other people where I feel like that's how you got personality traits from everybody.
Hmm.
I didn't. So mine is more
Yeah.
up a notch
Because
than
there's
yours.
really nobody in our family or that I've ever met in my whole entire life that's like you.
Ooh, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like that. Did you like did you ever feel like was I like a cool big sister or was I like
No,
bossy? No? You
you
didn't think
were,
I was cool?
no,
Why?
because you were basically forced to be a second mom. You've never been a cool big sister.
What is your definition of a cool big sister? Because I think I'm fucking cool.
Mhm.
Like, if I had me as a big sister, I would be like, oh my gosh, like, I want to be like my sister. She's
Oh, I
so
do
cool.
say that, but I don't say she's so cool.
What do you say?
She's rich.
So you think, what, so you think I'm a loser?
No,
What's a cool big sister?
it's just like, you know, well, now I've gotten to the point where I just don't really, but like, I've never really said to myself, like, oh, I want to go out with my sister.
Or like hang out with my sister?
No, not hang out. I always want to hang out with you just because you're my sister, but go out to a bar or something, I would never take you with me.
No, I would never take you. And okay, wait, is that just because, like, oh, why would you want someone 11 years older than you
No.
at the bar? So it's literally just because of me?
Mhm.
Why? What do you
You
think?
just like, you are, you kind of act old. Like, and when I say old, like in bed by 10 o'clock on the dot, like just old
What
acting.
would looking old look like at the bar?
The old people that go to the bar, you know they're old by the way they dress, but they party like us. That's what I'm saying. You like,
So I would look old because of the way I dress?
no, because of the way you act. Your demeanor is very much, if you ever went to the bars I went to, you would look around and say, I'm too good for this, and you'd walk right back out.
So you go to ratchet bars.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like bars anyway, so
Club, anything in general.
oh,
You just
I'm not
wouldn't.
going to a club.
Yeah, see.
Even like that mom's little event this weekend, I'm not going to that.
I was about to say, I'm not going either.
They're ratchet.
It's something about, like, I don't know if he's, or actually, no, you didn't, but like when I posted mom on that go go flyer, I put hashtag number one go go ho. Because I just, no, I can't party with them. Like I could in my setting. I don't want to go to a go go, and I don't.
The last time every time when I hang out with mom and her friends and we do, I feel like I'm the parent of them. Like, I don't feel like I'm with all older women. It's like
Hmm.
I'm the older one.
Yeah.
That's
They're
cute.
so fun though.
No,
Yeah,
they're a good time. Like I would hang out with them. I just feel like
I would too.
yeah, but they have more of a good time than me. So, I
Exactly
don't
my
know.
point.
Okay, but do you think this is switching topics? Do you think mom parented you different than like me or Donovan?
Yeah.
How?
Even well, for you, like I'd say I'd think like now, like about like some of the things like for instance, when you just say stuff to irritate us and we react, and she just like, well, you guys know how Danielle is, blah blah blah. But when we start spazzing out on you, she looks at us like we're crazy people. Well, I don't really like that. But I also think I had it better than you. She just had, she had more memes than
Mm,
she did when she had you guys.
yeah, I think I always say I feel like all of us got different versions of mom. Like the version that, for example, when mom had Donovan, she was 16.
Right.
That's a way different person than who she was when she had me at
At 19, 20,
21.
um,
And then to have you at what, like 30 something. And not
33.
even just who she was as a person. Like with Donovan, obviously it was like she knew nothing. She was learning to be a mom. With me, it was like, oh, okay, I got the hang of it. But then I feel like I threw a wrench in there because it was completely a different child than Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like by the time she got to you, it wasn't like trial and error or like she had been a parent for a very long time at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like you said, like she was just in a very different stage of life.
Right.
When she had us, she wasn't married. She didn't have a lot of money. When she had you, she had more money. She was married. She lived in completely different circumstances.
Right.
Like, we were poor, apparently. That's what Donovan told me. But, like, like, with you, it's not like we were rich, but it was a lot different.
We were comfortable.
Yeah, like, mom told me that because we used to have, like, good Christmases and things. And mom told me that was because, like, Meemaw and Granddaddy,
Oh,
which I didn't know that. Because they would like give mom money so she could like say the gifts were from
from
her.
her.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
that is.
Shout out to them.
I know, that's so nice. That's when they were like in their prime of their careers. Is there anything like if you think about like my childhood before you got here or just in general or things that you've heard me talk about where you're like, "Oh, I couldn't imagine living that life."
No. And the only reason I say that is because you guys, obviously, like we said, two different areas of life, but you guys also had each other.
Mhm.
Like you had your brother and Donovan had his sister. I didn't really have anybody except my Barbie dolls and stuff, so it was like boring.
Yeah. But I also think like the dynamics, like the whole family circumstances. Like when me and Donovan were growing up, Donovan, he was also my babysitter, like I was yours,
Mm-hmm.
but like it was way different. Like Donovan was babysitting me, and he was in like fourth grade, and I was in like kindergarten. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and we would stay home alone, and we had like rules. We couldn't like go outside or answer the door, and then like we would play together. Like I don't know if I made him play Barbies with me, but like we would play together. He would be the boy Barbie, I would be the girl. Like we did a lot of things together because we were closer in age. And even like if we were gonna go play outside, like all of our friends would be together. There were, I think we ended up being in school together in elementary school, but like he was and
About
like
to leave.
yeah about to leave, things like that, so that was a lot different. And even things like sometimes we would like go to work with mom or stuff like that that I feel like we didn't have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
I
different.
didn't have to do it, but I just chose to do it.
Yeah, yeah. um oh, okay, sorry, I had to gather my thoughts. Were there like things or like opportunities anything that you feel like you had because of our age gap, like being able to learn from me, you know, things.
Yeah, I do. I feel like especially like when it was like graduation time and we were talking about colleges and stuff like that, that was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very helpful to have somebody like obviously mom went to school, but like fresh out of high school, going into college and going like I didn't have anybody but you. And I felt like that was a very big blessing
Mm-hmm.
to show me like it's okay to not go,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Um there's just been like little things. Like I said, me and Donovan are not like I don't want to say I haven't learned anything from him, but like we're not close enough for me to point out like one thing.
Yeah.
But you and I, like I always tell people like my sister is who I want to be, like how she did things and then how she like progressed in her life and things like that. So, being able to watch you is still like an opportunity for me to keep learning and growing and
Oh,
learning to be better.
oh, that's so sweet. That is so nice. I um I was just thinking about like how when me and Nicole were like in high school and Shantae is only like maybe like a year old because she was just in the next grade
Mhm.
over us, and so it was a completely different dynamic of like me and you, like her sister would hang out with us, we would all go to parties together, like
Mhm.
it was no real
Right.
difference. Like they both liked the same things at the same time. Like we were doing the same things. We had the same mindset. We collectively wanted to sneak out together, like things like that. Where if like you, well, I'm trying to think, there wouldn't ever be a situation where it would be like us sneaking out together because I wouldn't need to sneak out. And if I did, it wouldn't be with you at that time because you would have been in like elementary school. But even
Mhm.
like if you were to be like, oh, you wanted to sneak out, well, you don't have to now, but at some point, if you were,
I wouldn't have told you.
oh, why?
Because like I said, you are more of a mom than a sister with things like that.
So what you think I would be like? Don't.
Snitch, yeah.
Is that just because of the relationship I have with mom,
Yeah.
or is it just because
And
I'm?
because of how you've always remember when you said that you cried on my birthday?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Oh my
I just
gosh.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it was just like, oh my gosh, she actually thinks she's my mother. Like,
Oh my god.
it's just you're
Well,
not. That's just not the type of sister you are, which is okay.
okay. Well, do you think like our differences, our age difference, do you think that has like influenced our relationship now as adults in any way? Or do you think like it brought us closer, or did it make it harder as adults?
Closer. I think closer because we always keep each other up basically on the do of the do. Like when I texted you and asked you how I use Twitter. Me like it's just like we our age gap is something that like if I feel like if we did not have our age gap, I wouldn't have gotten away with a lot of stuff that I've gotten away with you. And I
Like
also feel
what?
like just like sometimes the things that I say, like that comment that you can't let go. I was a child when I said that.
What? Oh, that you said that I look like a dot? You were not a child. You were probably in like middle school.
Okay, I was a child.
That, like, first of all, who even thinks of that? Like, you always just said wild things that were like crazy. Like when you made up the whole concept of being stuffed like a bell pepper. Like kids don't usually say things like that. So, oh God, it's just. I feel like though, like if we weren't like if we didn't have the age gap, there would be a lot of things that neither of us didn't know. Like I feel like when you explain like that one emoji was sweat. Remember the one with that teardrop on
Hmm.
the I thought it was a teardrop and you're like, no, that's sweat. Like I wouldn't have known that. Or like some of the things that
Like croak.
I should know, like some of the Gen Z stuff, like when you
Hmm.
were like explaining like when you remember that time when you were trying to explain to me and mom all of the different like layers or the
Of LGBTQ
yeah,
plus, IA plus.
yeah, like all of
Yeah.
those new age terms and stuff that
And that was really because it's stuff that has been around me. But on for y'all's point of view, like this really just came. But for me it's like I think when I was in like the 5th grade, people started coming out as pronouns and labels and non-labels and
yeah, that
stuff
wasn't
like
a thing.
that.
The only gay person that I knew was Michael, and I didn't even obviously know he was gay till we were in high school. But even then, like, he doesn't feed into all of that, all of the different like pronouns and things like
Hmm.
that. He just does what he wants. He lives his life. But also, those things weren't a thing
When you
when
were
I
in high
was,
school.
yeah, in high school. But then there's also things like I feel like you wouldn't like care to know as much about like politics or things like that if maybe you would, but I feel like it's helpful to have
Yeah,
like
it is.
someone that's a little older. Um okay. Well, I want to talk more about like being the second mom. Why'd you make that face?
I just I don't know. Just
Oh.
wanted to know where we were going with this.
Well, I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on being the second mom
Okay.
and then I want to get your thoughts. But I think one, I didn't like it. I didn't sign up for it. It was nothing against you,
It was
but
just
it was just like, it was very overwhelming. It was hard to like be a regular teenager with a car seat in my back, back in my
mm,
car. And it was also annoying because like mom was married at the time and I was like, what the fuck? Why do I have to do this
yeah.
stuff? Yeah. But I also enjoyed it. Like I liked having a younger sister once you were here. When I found out that you were coming, I was not happy about that. But once you got here, I was like, oh, okay, she's not that bad. But yeah, I think that was, I wasn't prepared for that. Like, and I don't think mom was either. Like, I don't think she was like, oh, yeah, gonna have this built in
Yeah.
caretaker kind of thing. But, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, but like, okay, so did you feel like you had, because I wasn't like a regular older sister, did you have like different expectations of me than like maybe what your friends have as an expectation of their siblings?
Hmm.
Like what?
Like it's just like for instance, Emily and Des.
Mm-hmm.
Emily and Des can talk about a lot of maybe even if I don't really know if it's regular because it's not really regular for me stuff that I was just like I would never tell Danielle that.
Aren't they don't they have the same like age gap? Close?
Close, very close.
So you think that's a age thing?
I don't. Well, no. When I say they have the same age gap, they have it's closer to you and I. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what it. I think that because they talk about real sister
Like what?
stuff. Like, for instance, like if we ever needed alcohol to go to a party when we were in high school, we would ask Des. If you were in the same vicinity as me and it came between the two sisters, I would still ask Des.
Yeah, you should, because I think that's
You would give
stupid.
me a lecture.
No, I wouldn't give you a lecture because for me, at that age, I was doing the same thing, but why would I be the one to contribute to that? Like, if I know that there's something wrong, and if I know, or if I'm thinking like, okay, this could not end well, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if it went. That's the only reason why I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
So if someone else chooses to do it, that's on them. No shade towards Des, but
Yeah,
like,
period.
I'm not
Because
doing that because I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, Leia, don't drink, don't do this, don't do that, because like I was doing it, but like I'm not gonna be the one to
that's kind of what I always,
contribute to it.
at first I was kind of like, why is she like this? Like, it's just like, you were literally doing the same thing as me at this age. But now it's like, I don't really expect anything from you in that aspect, which is not a bad thing. I just know my limits. Like, I wouldn't go ask mom.
Mm.
Mom, can you go to the liquor store for me? I have the money for it. So it's like, that's where the second mom comes in. If I wouldn't ask the first mom, why would I ask the second?
I think it just depends on the person because when we were younger, um, we had like a couple of my friends, their older siblings would do it, but I guess
Hmm.
they just didn't care. At the time, I wasn't thinking, oh, I would never do this as an older sibling. That wasn't what I was thinking. I just, I would prefer to be oblivious to the illegal activities that you're doing. That's all.
Okay.
Not completely oblivious. Like I know that you do things, but I'm just not going to help you do them. Like I'm not going to help you commit crimes. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Oh my
When you
god.
put it that way.
Yeah, like did you ever feel like a burden?
No.
Like did you ever feel bad that I had to like take you with me?
In the moment, no. As I got older, yeah.
Oh.
And you want to know why? Actually, it's because Emily and her little sister Beth. Emily is literally like a you, except Emily and Beth don't have as huge of an age gap. It's like 2 years. But like Emily
Oh.
like wakes up to take Beth to school, takes Beth to practice, like just a whole bunch. I would never do that.
If you had a younger sibling? Why?
Because like you said, I didn't sign up for this. Like I didn't tell you to have another baby after me, and no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think like now as the adult I am, if I had a sibling who was like in high school and I could take them to practice or something, I don't think I would mind doing it now.
But as a teenager,
Yeah, because I would have to
right?
like there were things maybe I couldn't do because
Because
I had to watch my sister until I was like, you know what, fuck it, just you're gonna have to come with me. And thankfully, all of my friends were really accepting of it, and no one made me like feel bad about it, and they just kind of accepted it and was like, okay, well, she's coming.
I
Is what it
had
is.
fun.
Yeah, like I don't feel like it stopped once I figured out, okay, I can do this. It didn't stop anything for me,
And
so
that's
that was
really
that.
all that matters.
Yeah. Intermission. Is your camera still good?
Yeah, but can we take a little? These are starting to hurt my head,
Okay.
like the top of my head.
You don't have to wear them.
I like it now. Like I like being able to hear the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can. It's
Are they
just
too tight?
maybe it's just the thing on the top. Like it's
Oh.
hurting my.
The cushion?
I,
Look at Novena being a wee.
right, she's been doing so good, just sleeping.
This is usually what she does. Let me just make sure she's covered. Okay. And it's only 6 o'clock. Wow. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I wanted to talk about like the period when I went away to college. Okay, so I feel like now when I'm looking back on it, I wouldn't say we grew apart when I went to college. It was just I was very excited to finally be free.
Mm-hmm.
I was really wanted to live my life. I was excited to get away from home. And honestly, I feel like I kind of was like I didn't want to even have like a big part of anything going on back home. So I think I was
Yeah.
really bad at like keeping in touch and just keeping up with communication. And I think I was like that not just with you, like with mom,
With everybody.
everybody. But I just was like, "Oh, I just need to get out of here." Like that was my one goal. And I feel like, well, actually, I think you said that you felt like I abandoned you. Oh gosh.
Um,
Do you need a minute? It's okay. You're so cute. I said that we should get tissues, and you were
yeah.
like,
Basically, yeah. I'm just gonna like talk to it. It'll be fine.
okay.
Um, and I think it was just because like in the situation that we were in,
Mm-hmm.
you were kind of like the one constant that I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and then it disappeared.
Yeah. And I think it was like an experience only we had. So
Right.
it wasn't like anyone else could relate or you it was like a thing of like I don't know how to explain it, but it's this thing of like for example, I don't like to have new friends because I don't want to have to go back and like tell them all the
Explain.
history so that they can understand
Exactly.
how we got here. And so I think that was how it was with that situation. And to your point of what was going on at the time, like at home, that was my whole thing of like, I gotta get out of
Yeah.
here. This is that was like my chance. But I don't think I was even thinking about like how you felt at the moment or how to be more supportive. Like I don't think I figured that out until after college. Like, oh, I should do better at that. Did you like how did you navigate that?
Honestly, I don't really think I navigated it. It was just kind of like,
Taking it one day at a time?
yeah, it was kind of like, okay, well, she was here, now she's not. There's really nothing I can do about it. Just got to keep going.
Yeah. Do you when you like look back on it now, do you feel like that phase was necessary for us to grow like closer or do you
Yeah.
think it would have still been the same even if like I didn't go to college?
Oh, definitely. Because we like you going to college and like me still being a child, we kind of miss, like, I mean, we still argue, but, like, being any as I'm growing up, like, you've already kinda transitioned from, like, like, preteen and teenager to, like, this grown adult. Well, I was still a child, so
Mhm.
we I'm pretty sure we had to argue less than any sister relationship I've ever seen.
Mhm.
But we still argue, but it was just like I think that like I said, our situation, regardless, we were gonna be this close because we're the only ones that seen it like we seen it.
Mhm. Did you feel like when I wasn't there, did it make you like get closer to mom? No.
No.
Or Donovan or anyone?
Mm-mm.
You just
It actually made me, first of all, Donovan, I just have like a lot of, what's the word? I think resentment.
Mhm.
And then mom, resentment.
Mhm.
And I think it was just because I was so young and I just was like, where is everybody at?
Where's the adults?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
is everybody at? Like, there's no way, even not living in our home, that you don't see these things.
Yeah.
There's no way you don't know about these things. And there's no way that you just conveniently forgot that, oh, I have a little sister, or oh, my granddaughter's there, like, or
Yeah.
my child is upstairs hearing, like, like I was just like, there's just no way that, like, I started out my life the first priority. And I just felt like I was the last at some point. Like,
Mhm.
nobody cared, basically.
Mhm. I think I don't know. Well, I'm not making excuses for anyone, but I wouldn't say it was nobody cared. I think it was everyone was trying to navigate the situation differently. And also, as people are watching this, I feel like there's a big piece
Oh,
like,
that's
like that
missing.
that's missing, which just to give it high level, our mom was just in a tumultuous relationship with Leia's dad. And that's not my story to tell, but one day my mom's going to come on the podcast and she's going to tell her story. So
Right.
obviously that caused a lot of different things in our household. So that's what she's referring to. But one thing that I noticed is your resentment is, or what you said is like about other people except for the person that was causing all the problems. Why is that? Like, why is there resentment towards Donovan or mom or Meemaw or me for not being around, but not resentment for the person that
Was
was
causing,
causing? Yeah.
I think that I have resentment towards my dad. I think that, I really think that that's why nothing we do is gonna, like, mend us or, like, create a relationship for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, he wasn't really a constant in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when things happen, like,
It's okay.
I never really looked for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if something happened at school, like, or, like, something happened in my life, like, he was not somebody that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go tell my dad.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah,
Like
so
for
it was
my
just,
my dad.
yeah, like, it was
It
like,
never even crosses my has crossed my mind or yeah, so
exactly. Like, I just don't know my dad as much as, like, mom, you, Donovan, Mima. Like, so it's like, either, like, it's not that I don't care, but, like, something could happen. And I hate to say this, like, don't jinx it, but something could happen to my dad today, and it would just kind of be like,
mm-hmm.
okay. You know what I'm saying? But, like, one of you guys, I would be like torn apart. So I think that that's where everybody gets like, I don't like have like a,
Emotional connection.
yeah, no, like it's
Yeah.
just,
So it's
it's
like the
kind of like
connection
something you're
isn't,
taught. Like, oh, that's your dad. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but
So it's like the connection isn't deep enough to even have resentment.
yeah, like I just,
Mm.
he wasn't even somebody that had the ability to disappoint me. Like
Mm.
I think back one thing and it's just like you've never even like dad, I still love you, but that's so disappointing.
Because
Like
you didn't have like expectations.
exactly ever.
Mm. Mm. That makes sense. Okay. So I think enough about that.
We
Is
can
there
keep going.
anything else that you wanted to talk about with that? College, me leaving, our relationship during that time.
I don't I don't think so. I mean, other than I didn't really like your boyfriend at the time either. But that was because of jealousy.
Oh, you didn't like him at the time or like just after?
Mm. After he was okay.
No, I mean like, so while I was in college, you didn't like him, or did you not like him after the whole thing went to shit?
Oh yeah, in college after it was just kind of like I knew I didn't like you. After.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, well, we don't want to talk about him because
Okay.
we'll upset a few people who get their panties in a bunch when I talk about anything that
Hashtag stalking.
has
Hashtag you need a therapist. Hashtag get some help.
period
Hashtag nobody's worried about you.
because God forbid I talk about anything that happened in my life
Really.
and the whole internet is in a frenzy. But anyways,
Anywho.
okay, so next I want to talk about our biggest fight.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So, should I set some context for the fight? It actually wasn't even really a fight. So, just to give some background. So, my mom had just moved into this house, and I guess it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2 years ago. So 20.
The 2022 going into 23? Like that New Year's?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
Or
So,
wait. Yeah.
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 So, that year I came home for Christmas. I went home before the New Year. Mom went somewhere for New Year's. Leia stayed home and she was like, "Oh, I'm just going to have a little girls' night with Emily, the one we were talking about earlier." Emily, I know
Hashtag
you're
my
watching this.
bestie.
And needless to say, things escalated and they had a rager at my mom's brand new house and they left traces of this rager.
Yeah. Okay, but a little backstory. It was never supposed to be at anyone's house, actually. It was supposed to be outside. We had bought a tent and everything, and then it started raining. So then we were basically like, what are we going to do? And we didn't use Emily's house because her parents were there. And it was just like, okay. And in my mind, I didn't think that it was going to go. It quickly went to, I wanted everybody out.
Whose idea was it? I'm blaming Emily.
No,
Was Emily the one that was like, "Let's have it at your house"?
no. It was more so like, what are we going to do? We've spent all this money to prepare for this. We need to have a party.
Oh, and the reason you didn't have it outside is because it rained.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it was pouring rain outside.
Yes. And so because it rained, my mom's house or like her driveway, something, it was
It's
kind of
muddy.
still under construction. So there it was very muddy. So the people that came to the party were stepping in the mud and they brought the mud in the house. This is
Yes.
how the traces of the party came to be.
Yeah.
And so that happened. mom was stressed. And when mom gets stressed or things happen, the first person that she will come to tell is me. And one thing about me is when someone stresses out mom, or anyone that I love for that matter, I take it very personal and then I'm beefing with the person. So our fight wasn't even really a fight. I was mad at her for that. And then when it happened, I sent a very mean text. And then once I sent the very mean text, then she blocked blocked me. I think she blocked the whole family, maybe.
No, it was actually just you.
Oh, excuse me. It was just me. She stopped sharing her location with me. And then from there, she decided to link back up with her dad, which I was mad about that because back to our previous story, which
Right.
all this will come full circle when my mom
Mom's
comes
episode.
on. But it's not going to be the episode we record. But at some point when she decides she wants to talk about it, then it'll all come full circle. And so mom was really mad at Leia. Leia felt it. So she was like, I don't want to stay here. I'm going to go stay with my dad. And that's kind of where things went downhill. What's your perspective? That's my way of telling the story. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's basically like you didn't miss anything. That's basically what happened. And then it was like you sent a mean text and then I blocked you and then you sent me an email.
I did. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hilarious. I sent an email
And
because
the
she didn't
email was
respond.
I just blocked you to the text.
Did you see my email?
Yeah, your email is what said the line that was like, okay.
I think what did I say, that you were kicked out of the family?
No, you said that you would never speak to me again.
Oh, okay.
And backstory, if you know my sister personally, she has no problem cutting anybody off or not talking to anybody. It really doesn't matter who you are. You could be our mother. And if she feels like she needs to cut you off and not talk to you ever again, she really won't talk to you ever again.
Exactly. Because, well, my thought process is like, I'm very big on loyalty and I have the highest expectations of loyalty from my family members. And so if I feel like there is some disloyalty, then I take it very personal and then I probably will have intentions of never speaking to you. And the reason that I didn't even think, like, so when the party thing happened, I was going to be mad about that for a little while. But it was then when you got your dad involved that I felt like there was a little bit of disloyalty there. And that was what sent me over the edge. Because I just thought that it was a bit much. Like, I thought getting him involved was a bit much. I thought that he's very much like the parent that if the kid gets in trouble, they're gonna come and like be the savior and seem like the nicer, cooler parent because they're gonna let you not have to have your consequences and you're gonna get to do what you want. So that was the part that kind of sent me over the edge. So it really wasn't a fight. Like, we never had a chance to go back and forth. We didn't discuss it until way later.
Right.
So it wasn't like she did anything to me or I did anything. Well, I sent the mean text and the email. The email's funny. I want to go back and find.
I was about to say I might be able to find
What's
it.
your email? How did I get your email?
Because my email actually no, I won't be able to find it because it made me change my iCloud.
Oh, it was like your iCloud email?
Yeah, it was like I think it was like my Gmail one that my iCloud was set up
That
to.
was genius of me.
Was it?
Because you blocked me on social media too. I couldn't reach, email was the only place because you can't block someone. I should have harassed you until you responded to me. So after I sent the email, that was it. Like, we didn't speak for months and months and months and months and months. And so a lot of things happened during those months. You went to prom. and
Graduated.
you graduated. And this girl decided not to invite me to her graduation. And I was very upset. Because I thought, oh, who cares about the fight? Like, she's going to invite me to the graduation. And
Mind you, I just told y'all what she said and who she is. So my thought was, why would I ask her to come if she's just gonna not respond to me? Because she's never speaking to me again.
so you thought I wasn't going to respond.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I was also mad. I was mad at mom because mom sent me a link.
To watch it.
Yes. So I was annoyed by that. And mom didn't be like, oh, you should, you know how some parents would be like, you should just come, like, show up anyways. It's okay.
Yeah, like,
She didn't do that. And mom said it was because kind of the same thing. Like, she didn't think I was going to come. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? How terrible do you guys think I am that I wouldn't show up? That's crazy. And I was even more annoyed because then I was like, oh, mom, who all went? I had came home. So I was here and I was asking who all went. And mom was reading down the list. And then she said, Ron, which Ron was mom's man at the time. And Ron, he was literally sitting here, but he tries to like not get into family
yeah.
business. And I was like, Ron was invited and I wasn't. And he's just sitting there like saying nothing. He's on his phone. He's like, oh shit. But when it was no offense to him, he's a
Right.
nice man. But I was so annoyed because I was like, all of these people were at the graduation and I just felt like it wasn't the people that contributed to the graduation. Well, to all the things that led up to the graduation. So all the years from kindergarten to graduation. I was so
Yeah.
irritated. But what were your thoughts during that whole debacle? Not just the graduation, but like
At first I was kind of
make
like,
sure your mic is.
oh, sorry. At first I was kind of like, I could see where mom was coming from, but I was like, I'm a teenager. Like, this is a teenager thing to do. Like, I didn't understand. Not I didn't understand why she was so upset, but like, I just didn't understand why it drug on how it did, basically. And then with us, it was just kind of like, I knew it was going to happen. Because, like you said, like, that's the routine. Like, if something happens, mom is gonna call you, basically. So it was just kind of like, I knew that you were gonna be mad and say stuff, but I just didn't think it would be that.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I'm not taking sides, but I didn't think mom drug it out. I thought your next moves of like, oh, you're gonna go stay with your. I think that is what took it up.
To the next level.
Yeah, like I thought it would blow over. Like that wasn't the first bad thing you had done,
Yeah.
so I knew it was gonna blow over. I think that just took it to the next level. At least for me, it did. And I think that it did for mom. Mom was never going to be mad for too long. So yeah, that was all your thoughts were?
Yeah. And then like, or like when it, and then graduation was depressing.
It was depressing? Oh. Way. It's okay. I wish I could hug you, but you're so far.
I was just really mad at everybody.
Like who?
Like, mom, we're not getting you here.
I feel like mom very much takes an approach of like trying not to get into the middle
Yeah.
of the children's drama.
Which has never been a good thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
always never
Yeah.
gotten us anywhere. But my graduation was not good. And then at that time, I was also going through it with you know who. So it was just like such a big moment, and it didn't feel big, basically. I wanted to go as soon as I got there. And then when I got home, I just wanted to go to bed because, like I said, the big moment didn't feel big. It just felt like I actually cry about this with everybody that I talk to about it, like even Emily, because like yeah, people were there, but like it
I
was
th-
just really depressing, and it didn't take how it did for other people, basically. Like other people were so happy, and I was just ready to go.
yeah. I think it was, yeah, like I know everyone thinks like, "Oh, I'm just at home like being tough and not caring about anyone's feelings." And it wasn't like I remember I was with LJ. I was really upset, and like he was trying to like find the balance of like being supportive of me, but also he wasn't trying to say things like, "Oh, you should be the bigger person," even though I know that's
Yeah,
how he felt, but he knew that like I was going to get upset if
yeah.
he like said that. So, he was trying to find that balance, but also like not overstep and put himself in the middle of it. But even from the beginning, like he he wouldn't say it at the time. Now he would, but I know that he thought that I was taking it too far, like doing too much, because and I know that he thought that because he if he agrees with me or he thinks I'm right, he'll like tell me that, but if he doesn't, he'll just like let me rant, but he won't like
Mhm.
say anything, and that's how he was about it. And I remember like just I was really upset about it. And it's like one of my biggest regrets. And me and him still talk about this because now he's like how he just loves our relationship. And, but he was there when that whole situation
Mhm.
happened. And yeah, it was like, I don't do this often and admit that I think I was wrong. I was definitely wrong in that situation. I learned from that. And even I had to set a boundary, not just with mom, but everyone of like, stop telling me shit that other people did to you because
Mhm.
I don't know how to separate the two. I'm going to get mad at that person for
Forever.
doing something to you. But it's
Yeah.
not just mom. It's any, if someone did something to you, if someone did something to LJ, if someone did something to anyone else, like
Mhm.
one of my friends, I will not like you after that. So I had to make that rule because mom forgives people very quickly. And so even with you, she had moved on. You guys were on great terms. And then I wasn't talking to you over something that had nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
So, and she's done really good with respecting that boundary now. Um, Sometimes I feel out the loop of like what's going on, but I do think that it didn't need to, it wasn't my fight. It wasn't for
Right.
me to be mad at. I didn't need to be involved, and I think I definitely took it too far. Um, but unfortunately,
It
we
taught
can't
me
get
a lesson though
graduation
too.
back.
Yeah. Taught me a lesson just to speak up, even if you think like you're not gonna get a good response.
Hmm.
Still say what you have to say and want to say because that was so not worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it at all. And I think that is a good lesson. That's actually something I try to do that too, of just like, because then that way, say if it doesn't work out, you don't have to worry about if it was you or them. If you
Mhm.
said everything that you said or you put in a little bit of effort, then you can walk away from it feeling like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I can't control the other person. And I think that's like a good way to look at it in any situation of like not, I'm not saying like being the bigger person or whatever the case may be, but like, for example, in this, I think Nova pooted. Oh my gosh. Nova. Look how she's hiding and not coming. Nova, come here. Did you poot? Huh? What is that smell, Nova? Is that you? You look guilty, babe. Oh, okay. But yeah, so that sucked. But I'm glad that we did. Oh, Nova, you're sitting on my cord. I'm glad that we kind of, no, not kind of. We did. We discussed it. We talked through it, and it will never happen again.
Yeah.
At least for me. I don't know. You might decide to stop talking to me.
No.
No? What would I do to make you stop talking to me? See, my problem is it's easy for me to stop. Like, I'm trying to get better at that. I just don't, like, want people. I'm not as nice as mom, so I don't like to be given a lot of chances.
But that's me.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like once you over and over and over and over again just prove that there's really nothing you can do but disappoint me or make me angry, then so you gotta go.
Yeah. Do you think, like, after the fight, like, do you think our relationship, like, got even better?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do too. I think it went in a good direction because I was nervous about that. Like if it was gonna be like awkward
Oh, yeah.
or weird. Eva,
Yeah.
I hope you're not breathing into the Oh gosh. Okay. Well, do you think though, like bringing it back to the whole age gap thing, do you think that now that you're an adult and I'm an adult, even though we're still
Gapped.
gap, do you like see me more of like an equal now versus like when you were a kid and I was more of an adult?
Like in what?
Just like in general, like instead of just being your older sister, like do you see me now more as like a friend or an equal or just still
My
as a
older
mom?
sister. Not mom, just more you're coming into your older sister.
What's that?
Like, for instance, second mom, now you're coming into an older sister. And I think it's because I'm older now. So you probably still have your like second mom type of feelings, but you do much better controlling them. Because sometimes I really just look at you like you have to let this go.
Like what?
This dynamic go.
What dynamic?
Because you
like
are.
give an example.
I can't. It's just like some of the stuff you say, and it's just like, mom wouldn't even say that to me. So why are you saying this to me? But you are you're growing into an older
And also,
sister.
me and mom are very different people. And she's a lot less outspoken than me. So, and she also like will choose her battles wisely. Like if it's something that it's like, this isn't even worth it.
Right.
As far as like bringing it up or.
But I wouldn't say I benefit from that because sometimes it's just like, say something, anything. Like, but sometimes it's just like, good, just let me live my teenage, almost 20 life. And I always think about, at least I'm not pregnant. I'm on drugs. Like, can't really get any worse.
Unless you did get pregnant or start doing drugs. That would be worse. Do you? Nova. Oh my gosh. Don't look at me like that. You are so nasty. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you think though would you like be my friend if we weren't sisters?
Yes.
You would?
Mhm.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's so nice. Is there any advice that you would give to someone else who has like a maybe someone else who has a age gap with their siblings, but maybe like they're struggling to like build a relationship with them or like connect with them?
Any advice? Conversation cards.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I personally have not used conversation cards, but I've heard great things. Conversation cards. Because I think, just like you said, I think that they can spark conversations that you never pictured yourself having.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just kind of like, if you didn't know, that's why I said, like, I can't really give advice because our past has shaped our relationship. So if you
Yeah.
don't have the past like ours, then, but if you are looking to get to know your siblings and try to build some type of relationship, you have to know each other. You have to be comfortable enough and know your boundaries, even if they're little boundaries. Like, I quickly learned that I can't say stuff to my sister like you look like a dot because she won't let them go. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But now I know that it's a learning process, but you also have to be open to learning. Like, you can't just want the sibling to learn you so your relationship can be good. You have to be willing to learn your sibling.
Hmm. I like that. I That's really nice and you're very mature because I was gonna say either you have it or you don't. Like I think that I don't think I know how to do that because like you said, I think ours just came from like you're the sibling I'm closest to because you're the sibling that I lived in a household with
Mm-hmm.
for the most or for the longest time. You're the sibling that I think I went through the most with. And
Right.
so it's very easy for us to relate, to get along, to know what each other likes, to know each other's personalities, to know the things that annoy each other. Like, that's something I don't think you could learn if you didn't just live with the person and grow up with them. Like,
Mm.
I think my siblings, like on my dad's side, they're always going to be closer to each other than they are with me
You,
because they literally have lived together
their
their
whole
entire
lives.
lives. They know things about each other. They went through the same experiences. They have the same parents.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was the same. So that's not a relationship you can just try to nurture
Yeah.
or, and maybe you can, and I just don't know how, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying it from
maybe.
my,
Because even though, even so, like, I even think to myself, like, you're never going to have the same relationship as people that you see. Like, them watching, they're not going to have the same relationship as us, and
mm,
vice versa. Like, if our relationship wasn't what it is, we couldn't watch somebody's podcast and say, okay. Like, you literally, you just have to, and I kind of agree with that too. You got it or you don't.
mm,
Because I think that they could never have this. I'm just saying. Like,
yeah.
we're actually such a funny pair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that also, we have the same humor. We're so funny.
Period.
And we're just like you said, I think that we have a lot of just too many ties other than, like, I could, like you said, I couldn't have this relationship with like Lorenzo or Simone.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love them and they're hilarious, but it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's never gonna happen. You have to build your own,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, so before we end this, we're gonna say something nice about each other. Like what I'm gonna tell you what I admire about you, And then if there's anything that you admire about me, I would love to hear it. I would say what I admire about you is you are very, 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 very caring. Like, you are actually sweet and caring. And I just think about like just different situations. Like when you were like younger, if I would come and just like lay my head in your lap, you would just rub my head. Or like when I went to college and I was like, I thought I was getting fat and I wore that bathing suit to King's Dominion, and you were literally telling me, you would point out every person and be like, look at her in that bathing suit, Danielle. And it was like people, so you were trying to make me feel better by saying other people looked fat in their bathing suit, but it was really good intention and it was so sweet and nice of you. Like you knew I was feeling a little insecure, so you were like, look at that fat picture. And I just think that's, and just like how I just know I could like depend on you to have my back. Like, I swear to God, if anything goes down, I'll be like, I'm fucking calling my sister. There's no way you could think I'm finna deal with this by myself. Like, that's one of the things I admire about you. You're very caring.
I
Are you
admire.
getting emotional?
No, not anymore.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
out.
Okay.
It's already all gone.
Okay.
I admire like how you have built yourself up today. How you are like hardworking, how you are somebody acceptable to anybody to look up to. Like,
Oh,
oh, like you have your life together. And you're young.
that's so nice. You
Like,
think I have my life together?
yeah, you're young and you have your life together.
Wow.
I know someone older than you that doesn't have their life together. And I'm just like, my sister would never do that.
Who? Okay, I'm gonna cut that out. Anyway.
That's why I said just someone. You took it to the next level. But yeah, I just admire who you are. And you're hearing too. You take care of
Aw,
me, Mom.
that's so nice.
I'm assuming LJ, Nova, Hybina.
You did not have to break your neck like that. That's really sweet. I try. Well, I really enjoyed this. I think this was a good conversation. I know this is not going to be your last time on the podcast. Do you have any last words?
Thank you, everyone, for supporting my sister, and even to the ones that are watching with ill intentions. Thank you also. And
Thanks for the views.
absolutely, and the comments. Even bad comments are comments, so you're still eating. And I will see you guys next time.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you guys for listening. If you are listening on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like, comment. Make sure you actually subscribe because I feel like the views are not adding up to the subscribers. So I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Otherwise, if you are listening on any podcast platform, be sure to leave a review, share it with a friend. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Subjective Pod. As long as TikTok's around, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, bye guys.